Okay, so now let's talk about mechanisms of heat transfer, wherein we have here conduction, convection, and radiation. So let's discuss each mechanism of heat transfer. Let's have first conduction. So what is conduction? We define conduction as heat is being transferred from hotter substance to colder substance upon contact with each other. So there should be a physical contact so that you can transfer heat from a higher temperature object to an object with a lower temperature. Heat conduction also occurs by electron and molecular collisions. And metals are considered to be good conductors of heat because metals also have loosely held electrons. So they can conduct heat easily. So again, it's a particle to particle interaction. For example, if you have a hot coffee, the conduction would be through a ceramic mug. So you have here coffee particles with a higher average kinetic energy. The one at a higher temperature will collide with the container wall, and then that container wall will also transfer energy to the surroundings. So it's from a higher temperature object, so the transfer would be from the coffee to the surroundings. Okay? That's why yun nga sinasabi natin if may aircon, wag buksan yung pintuan dahil lalabas ang lamig. So that's not correct in physics. Wag buksan yung pintuan para hindi papasok yung init because again, heat is being transferred from a higher temperature to lower temperature. Then let's talk about insulators. If we are going to compare metals or solids with liquids and gases are considered to be poor conductors, simply because the particles of liquids and gases are farther from each other compared to the particles of solid materials. So solid materials are very compact, therefore, it's easy for them to transfer thermal energy. So they are near each other, unlike liquids and gases. So let's talk about igloos. Why is it that let's talk about igloos. Do you think it's very cold inside an igloo? Okay. How about inside a ice hotel? Okay, so now let's talk about igloos. Is it very cold inside an igloo? Or does it feel so cold inside an ice hotel? What do you think? Okay, inside an igloo, it's actually retaining its warmness. For example, you have a source of heat. So the answer is this. No, it's not that cold, thanks to the poor heat conductivity of ice. Take note also that ice has poor conductivity. Why? Because we have discussed before, because of the hexagonal crystal structure of ice, so somehow the particles are farther from each other compared to liquid water. So we can consider that ice is a poor conductor of heat. Therefore, any heat or any thermal energy generated inside an igloo or inside an ice hotel could not be easily transferred to its surroundings. So it can be retained. Yung warmness inside an igloo can be retained because of the poor conductivity of ice. So it cannot easily transfer thermal energy from inside the igloo to the outside surroundings. Okay? Yeah, snow is a poor conductor of heat. Snow does not provide heat, but it slows down the loss of heat they generate. Insulating materials delay the transfer of heat. So again, ice is considered to be a poor conductor of heat. Okay, that's why animals tend to hibernate so they can stay underneath snow because of its poor conductivity. The heat or the body heat generated by the animals can be retained if they are covered with ice. Okay, because again, it cannot be easily transferred to the surroundings. Okay. In desert regions that are hot in the daytime but cold at nighttime, the walls of houses are often made of mud. Why is it important that mud walls should be thick? So ganun din, mud can also delay the transfer of heat. During daytime, the transfer of heat is from the surroundings to inside the mud house, or during nighttime, the heat transfer would be from inside the mud house to the surroundings. So it delays that transfer because of the use of mud. Now let's talk about another heat transfer, which is convection. Now remember, in your meteorology, the major heat transfer mechanism in the atmosphere is convection. And what is convection? Okay, while you are listening to this, kindly write the comments in our group or comment in this channel. What is convection? What do you remember about convection? Okay, so I will check your output in the comments. So now let's discuss convection and how it's related with meteorology, since meteorology was our subject last year. Okay, in convection, liquids and gases or fluids transmit heat through convection. Since we have mentioned that air is a poor conductor of heat, so they can better transfer heat or thermal energy through convection or through the actual motion of the fluid. So convection is defined as a heat transfer by actual motion of the fluid or by currents. For example, you're boiling water, so the heat is always coming from the bottom in convection. And then we know, since it's heated, it will be less dense, so it will float, and then the cold layer will sink, and then it will be heated again, and then it will float, and then the cold layer will sink. That's why you are creating currents, okay? So there's a movement because of the heat coming from the bottom. What about radiation? Radiation is also another mechanism of heat transfer, but this time it doesn't need a particle-to-particle interaction. It doesn't have, the heat should not be coming from the bottom. Kahit halimbawa, from the sun yan, it's very far, and then there's a vacuum in between. Thermal energy can still be transferred through radiation. So radiation is defined as a heat transfer in an empty space, and energy radiated is known to be the radiant energy. Now let's talk about absorbers and emitters of heat or of radiation. A perfect absorber reflects no radiant energy and appears perfectly black. But good reflectors are poor absorbers. Let's have an example. Okay. During summer, which is more comfortable for you to wear? Yung hindi ka masyado maiinitan, white shirts or dark colored shirts? Or let's have black shirt. Okay, during summer, mas presko ang white shirt. Okay, why? Because white shirts or white color is a good reflector of heat. It doesn't absorb heat. So we know that the heat is coming from the surroundings, so the heat transfer would be from the surrounding to your body. And then since white is a good reflector of heat, so it will not be directly transferred to your body. It will be reflected. Unlike when you wear black. Kaya napapansin nyo, when you wear black, mas parang mainit. So that is because black is a good or a perfect absorber of heat. So coming from higher temperature surroundings, that thermal energy will be easily transferred to your body because black is a perfect absorber of heat. Ganon din sa mga bahay. That's why yung mga bahay na lightly colored, mas nagre-reflect sila ng heat. Okay? The same with, balikan din natin yung meteorology natin. When we say there's an albedo, so that is clouds, okay, it's white. So when sun's rays are passing through it, or pag nagbablock na siya ng mga clouds, it will just be reflected away from, or it will just be reflected backwards, okay? Or will be reflected upwards. Kaya it will not be absorbed by the surroundings. However, during nighttime, because of that albedo naman, we have higher temperature, let's say at land, we have higher temperature on land, so that heat cannot easily escape. because of the clouds. It will be reflected back to us. Okay? So that is another application of heat transfer through radiation. Kaya if it's cloudy at night, maalinsangan din. If you don't see stars at night, so mainit yung panahon. Okay? Because of the radiation or the reflection of the thermal energy coming from the land surface. Okay, let's take a look at this. The skin pigmentation of chameleons allows it to modify its temperature. A chameleon will also make itself flat and dark so it can absorb more heat. So if it wants to absorb more heat, it will appear black. Pero it can change to a lighter color so that it can cool down. Okay? Now I want you to answer this. I think we have answered the first question. So I want you to answer this next one. Next time you go to a coffee shop, or punta na tayo sa McDo, when should you pour the creamer? Para you want to maintain the hotness of the coffee. Di mo pa siya agad iinumin. Do you have to add the creamer immediately? Or you have to wait para mas mainit yung kape nyo? And why? Okay? I want you to answer that in the comments in our group or in the comment in this YouTube channel. And it will be graded. Another question. A tile floor may feel uncomfortably cold to your bare feet, but a carpeted floor in a adjoining room at the same temperature feels warm. Why? So let's answer this one. Ano ba, meron kang wooden tile or wooden tile na lang tayo and yung ceramic tile. Okay, the wooden tile is a ceramic tile would be a better conductor compared to wood. So when you step on it, when you step on the tile and then when you step on the wood, okay, it feels warm kapag nandun sa wood yung paa mo. But it feels cold kapag nandun ka sa ceramic tile. Why does it feel cold? It feels cold because the heat coming from your feet was easily transferred to the ceramic tile. Okay? Kaya it will feel colder. Kumpara when you are stepping on a floor with carpet or on a floor or on a wooden floor. Okay? So that is another concept involving mechanism of heat transfer. Another one, of course, is insulation of the house. Okay? Kaya kung mapapansin nyo rin before, mas presko kapag kubo yung bahay, if it's made of wood, unlike now it's made of cement because cement is a better conductor of heat compared to wood. Okay? So let us also talk about the rate of heat flow through conduction. So you can see from this equation we have the rate of heat flow, that's H, equals delta Q over delta T. So this is the rate of heat transfer. Delta Q is the amount of heat transferred through a certain period of time. Then you have here H. Another equation is that rate of heat flow is equivalent to thermal conductivity of the material, then the area, perpendicular to the thermal gradient. When we say thermal gradient, yung change in temperature. And then we have the higher temperature minus the lower temperature divided by the length. The length here would be the distance between the two ends, between the higher temperature and the colder temperature. Okay, so anyway, we will solve sample problems involving rate of heat flow through conduction. Now we have here heat flow through radiation, wherein in the formula we have H equals E as the emissivity, and then this one is a constant. We have sigma as a van Boltzmann constant, equivalent to 5.67 times 10 to negative 8 watt per meter squared Kelvin to the fourth. And then A again is the area, and then T is the temperature. Okay, so we will solve problems on this.